Drop a raw chunk of meat on the floor and your dog will happily wolf it down, dirt and all, and be completely fine. You do the same and there's a good chance you spend the next 2 days folded over a toilet, praying for it to end. Think about how strange that is. The animal in your house is better at being an animal than you are. A wolf, a lion, your little house cat, they all tear into raw, bloody, sometimes half-rotten flesh and thrive on it. You, the supposed top of the food chain, would get taken down by a bad steak. So what is actually wrong with you? Why can't you eat raw meat like your dog? Start with just how good other animals are at this. A wolf can eat a carcass that has been sitting out for days, crawling with bacteria that would put you in a hospital and trot away like nothing happened. Your dog is a slightly softer version of that same machine. Cats, hawks, crocodiles, they don't cook, they don't wash, they don't check the expiry date. They rip and swallow. For almost every meat-eating animal on Earth, raw is simply food. It's the default. There is no other option, and their bodies were never given one. So the obvious question is why your body seems to have lost a skill that a chihuahua still has. Because make no mistake, raw meat can wreck you. It can be loaded with salmonella and certain strains of E. coli that turn your gut inside out. Worse, it can carry passengers. Undercooked pork and wild game can hide trichinella, tiny worms that burrow out of your intestines and into your muscles. Beef and pork can carry tapeworms that set up shop inside you and grow for years. Then there's toxoplasma, a parasite that quietly rewires the brains of its hosts. Your dog shrugs most of this off. In you, the same meal can mean fever, cramps, dehydration, or a worm the length of your arm. So maybe you think the answer is simple. Maybe your stomach is just weak. It is not. This is the part people get completely backwards. Your stomach is not some gentle, delicate thing. The acid inside it sits at around a pH of 1.5. That is roughly as acidic as a car battery. In fact, when scientists lined up the stomach acidity of different animals, humans didn't land near the fruit eaters or the gentle grazers. We landed right next to the scavengers, the vultures and their kind, animals built to eat rotting, filthy carrion. Your gut was designed to be a brutal, sterilizing acid bath, a defense against exactly the germs hiding in old meat. So if your stomach is basically a vulture's, the mystery only gets deeper. The problem was never the acid. The problem is further down. Look at your gut as a whole and something strange jumps out. It's small. Compared to other apes your size, your entire digestive system is short, narrow, and frankly underpowered. A gorilla is mostly belly, carrying a huge, churning fermentation tank to squeeze calories out of raw leaves and stems. Even chimps have far more gut than you do. Your intestines are gracile, stripped down, almost dainty. And a small gut is a problem because raw food is hard work. Raw meat, raw roots, raw everything is tough, fibrous, and stubborn. It takes a big, powerful digestive system running for hours to break it down and pull the energy out. You don't have that system anymore. At some point in your history, your ancestors threw it away. The question is why you would ever downsize the very organ that keeps you alive. And here's the twist this whole video is built around. The reason you can't eat like your dog isn't inside your body at all. It's sitting in your kitchen. It's fire. Somewhere between 1 and 2 million years ago, an ancestor of yours did something no animal had ever done. They took control of fire and they started putting their food into it. That single act didn't just change dinner. It quietly rebuilt the human body from the inside out, and it's the reason you are the way you are today. To see why, you have to understand what cooking actually does. Heat is a form of digestion that happens outside your body. Fire unwinds the tightly folded proteins in meat, so your enzymes can rip them apart with ease. It bursts open stiff plant cells and turns hard starch into soft, available fuel. It kills most of the bacteria and parasites that would have made you sick. A cooked meal arrives in your stomach already half broken down. You get dramatically more calories out of it for dramatically less effort. Raw food makes your body do all the work. Cooked food does half the work for you before you've even taken a bite. The biologist Richard Wrangham built an entire theory around this in a book bluntly titled Catching Fire: How Cooking Made Us Human. His argument is that cooking wasn't just a nice upgrade. It was the turning point. Once our ancestors were reliably cooking, they were suddenly swimming in extra energy that no other animal could access, from the very same plants and animals. And when a body suddenly has a surplus of energy and no longer needs a giant gut to earn it, evolution does what it always does. It starts cutting costs. So it cut. With fire doing the hard part of digestion, the huge ape gut was no longer worth its price, and it shrank. The heavy jaws and big grinding teeth built for hours of raw chewing were overkill, so they shrank too. Your face got smaller, your teeth got smaller, your belly got flatter. But that freed up energy didn't just vanish. It got spent on the single most expensive organ you own. Your brain. Your brain burns around a fifth of your energy just sitting there. A body cannot afford a brain like that and a gorilla-sized gut at the same time. Cooking let us trade one for the other. We shrank the stomach and grew the mind. Fire, in a very real sense, is what fed the human brain. But every trade has a catch, and here is ours. It was a one-way door. We didn't just gain the ability to cook. We lost the ability to live without it. Modern humans are what scientists call obligate cooks, biologically dependent on cooked food. And we can test this. In the comfortable modern world, with blenders and supplements and grocery stores, people who eat a strict raw food diet still tend to lose weight they can't keep on, and a large share of the women stop menstruating, their bodies quietly deciding there isn't enough energy to reproduce. And that's on easy mode. Out in the wild trying to survive on raw food alone, you would slowly starve while surrounded by it. So your dog wins this round, and it wins for a simple reason. It never made the trade. It kept the short, fast gut, the tough, tolerant biology, the whole raw meat machine, because it never found a way to outsource digestion to a campfire. You gave all of that up. You handed your stomach's hardest job over to fire, and in exchange you got a brain big enough to build the very house your dog is standing in. Your dog is better at eating raw meat than you are. You are better at literally everything else. So think about what fire really is to you. It isn't a tool you use. It's practically an organ, one you just happen to keep outside your body. Every stove, every kitchen, every grill is a second stomach, doing the digestion your own guts gave up doing 1,000,000 years ago. You are not a weak animal that forgot how to eat. You are a specialized one, an ape that wrapped its entire biology around a technology and never looked back. The reason you can't eat like your dog isn't a flaw. It's the receipt for your own mind. So the next time your dog inhales something horrifying off the ground and looks up at you, perfectly fine, remember what that really means. It didn't beat you. It just never had to choose between a full belly and a big brain. You did, and you chose the brain. Here's my question for the comments, and be honest. If you were dropped into the wild with no fire, no tools, nothing but raw meat and raw plants, how long do you really think you'd last? Tell me. And if you want to know what else fire secretly did to your body, the changes hiding in your own face and teeth right now, that's exactly where we're going next. Subscribe to Bygone. We do this every week, the strange story of how humans survived every age.